Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a paper that maps out a solution to one of AI's biggest, most persistent problems. It's a roadmap for building an AI that's not just more powerful, but one we might actually be able to trust. Okay, let's just jump right in with a paradox. We've got these large language models, LLMs, the brains behind tools like ChatGPT. They are unbelievably powerful. They can write poetry, they can code, they can explain quantum physics. And yet, they have this fundamental and sometimes kind of hilarious flaw. They hallucinate. Now, that's what researchers call it when an LLM confidently just makes stuff up. For instance, it might tell you with a straight face that Einstein discovered gravity in 1687. I mean, that's not just off by a few years, it's completely wrong. And get this, it's not a rare bug, it's a core feature of how they work. So, what's the deal? Well, LLMs learn by spotting patterns in just unbelievable amounts of text. Their whole world is based on probability. They're just amazing at predicting the next most likely word. They don't really know facts in the way you and I do. That's why they're often called a black box. We can't see their reasoning. And it's also why they struggle to absorb new info without a massive, costly retraining. Okay, so if the LLM is this brilliant, creative artist who sometimes gets the details wrong, what if? What if we could pair it up with a super meticulous, by-the-book fact checker? This is where the other half of our story comes into play. And that brings us to knowledge graphs, or KGs for short. You can think of these as the total opposite of LLMs. If an LLM is all about fluid, creative language, a knowledge graph is all about structured, verifiable, cold, hard facts. See, instead of swimming in a sea of unstructured text, a KG stores information in these neat little packages called triples. It's super simple. You've got one thing, a relationship, and another thing. So for our gravity example, the KG would just store Isaac Newton, discovered gravity. That's it. It's clear, it's explicit, and you can check it. No room for hallucination there. But, and this is a big but, knowledge graphs are no silver bullet. They've got their own huge problems. For one, building them is incredibly difficult and expensive, which means they pretty much always have gaps. They also have zero of the language flair of an LLM, and if a fact isn't already in their rigid structure, well, to them, it just doesn't exist. So here we are. We have two amazing technologies, both powerful and both deeply flawed in their own ways. This brings us right to the heart of the research paper we're looking at today. The future isn't about picking a winner. The real game changer is getting them to work together. But we're not just talking about a simple collaboration. We're talking about a deep, true synergy. The goal is to build this kind of unified, hybrid brain that has all the creative genius of an LLM and the rock-solid factual grounding of a KG. And the paper gives us a really clear three-part roadmap to get there. First up, we use KGs to make our LLMs smarter. Then, we flip that around and use LLMs to make our KGs better. And finally, the ultimate goal. We merge them into one truly synergistic system. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in practice? How do you really get a creative language machine and a rigid fact database to play nice together? Let's take a look. The first path is all about giving that brilliant artist a fact-checked cheat sheet. In this setup, the knowledge graph basically acts as an external brain, a source of truth that the LLM can check against. This helps boost the LLM's accuracy, and just as importantly, it makes its answers way more transparent. And here's a really cool way you can do that. You can actually take a fact from the knowledge graph, phrase it as a question, and ask the LLM. Then you just compare its answers to the ground truth from the KG. It's a fantastic way to literally probe what the LLM knows and, correct it when it goes off the rails. All right, the second path flips the script completely. Now, we use the LLM's superpower to help the KG. Remember how we said KGs are a huge pain to build and are always full of holes? Well, LLMs are incredible at reading and understanding just mountains of text. So we can set the LLM loose to automatically scan documents, pull out facts, and help build out or complete our knowledge graph. It's like hiring a super fast, tireless research assistant. But this last path, this is the most exciting one. This isn't about one technology just helping the other one out. This is about that synergy we were talking about. This is about creating a system where they work as true equal partners. And this is where things get really interesting. The researchers themselves put it perfectly here. They're aiming for a system with bidirectional reasoning. What that means is it can think using the fluid, context-rich understanding of the LLM, while at the same time grounding every single step of that reasoning in the hard, verifiable facts from the KG. It is literally the best of both worlds, working in perfect sync. So, let's bring it all home. Why does building this hybrid brain matter so much? What does this future, this union of language and fact actually unlock for us? Well, this roadmap points towards some absolutely massive breakthroughs. I'm talking about an AI that can spot its own hallucinations. Think about that. Or a system where we can reliably update its knowledge base without having to do a full, expensive retraining. This leads to way better search engines, AI assistants that you could actually trust with high-stakes tasks like in medicine or law, and ultimately an AI that can reason on a much, much deeper level. At the end of the day, bringing these two technologies together isn't just about making AI more powerful. It's about making it more reliable, more accountable, and more understandable. It's about getting away from this mysterious black box that we just have to hope is right and moving towards a system where we can actually trace its logic. The path is there, but it leaves us with the biggest question of all. Is this how we finally build an AI we can truly trust?